Do you guys ever wonder how a Jehovah Witness would respond to Genesis 1:26? I've often wondered this myself, and I needed to understand how can they reckon with this. So I have been through their New World Translation. This is their Bible translation, as well as the Kingdom Interlinear translation, the Greek scriptures. So they put the Greek next to their translation. However, in order for us to understand why they come up with a reason to combat everything that's thrown at them, like Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, we have to understand the Watchtower and Tract Society's theology and what they've taught Jehovah Witness. Once we understand what they think of Jesus and God, then we can further look into their scriptures and their literature and compare it to what the Bible actually says. So that's what we're going to do today. I hope you guys enjoy. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, it says, "Then God said, 'Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth.'" The important key words here are, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness." This is as God is creating our planet, our earth. But who is he referring to if he's the only one? Who is this us in our image and our likeness? Who is he talking about? Does he have friends with them? What's going on here? Us is plural. Our is plural. So if God is one, and they claim to be monotheists, even though they say Jesus is a God in John 1:1, they added the word a. However, this becomes a problem for Jehovah Witness. But how do they respond to it? We're going to go to their website and see what they have to say. And then we're going to respond to that. But first, it's important to understand how Jehovah Witness view Jesus. They don't believe Jesus is God. They believe Jesus is a created being, a creature, just like the angels. They believe he actually is Michael the Archangel. But where did they come to this conclusion? And why does this fit into their theology, even though the Bible says otherwise? And how do they reckon with it? That's what we're going to look at today. I hope you guys enjoy. So on jw.org, the Jehovah Witness website, if you just type in meaning of Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, you will find why they believe that Jesus is not God according to their theology. They explain by saying, quote, "God said, 'Let us make man in our image,' end quote." That's true. It does say that. But then they go on to say, before Jehovah God made anyone or anything else, he created a powerful spirit being who later became known as Jesus. By means of Jesus, all other things were created in the heavens and on earth. They then refer to Colossians chapter 1 verse 16. Jesus reflects Jehovah's personality. Quote, "He is the image of the invisible God," end quote. And then they go on to quote Colossians chapter 1 verse 15. Fittingly, then, God could say to Jesus, quote, "Let us make man in our image," end quote. But here is why Jehovah Witnesses is so confused. Because of the writers of the New World Translation Bible that they read, and the Jehovah Witness Watchtower and Tract Society, they added the word other. So all other things were created. However, they are the only Bible translation on earth that does this. Not even the ancient manuscripts that we have in the papyri have the word other written in it. And it's interesting, because even in their Greek Interlinear Bible, they have the Greek right next to the changes that they made, clearly showing that they added these words into it. They put the word other in brackets. All these words that were added and taken out by the Watchtower and Tract Society and the people who created the New World Translation Bible were done so just to fit their own personal beliefs and their theology. They wanted to take away Jesus Christ's deity as God, so they had to do these things in order to make Jesus look like a created being. However, that is not the biblical truth. But here's what really blows my mind about the New World Translation that the Watchtower and Tract Society put out, is that within their own Bible, the Greek Interlinear and their New World Translation, they actually teach the same thing that our Bibles teach, and that's not to add to or take from the Bible, which is exactly what the Watchtower has done. How Jehovah Witnesses reckon with this, I have no idea. I don't understand how you can say you believe the Bible, you follow the Bible, and then when you read things that say, don't add to, don't take away, Jesus says, my words, this world will pass away, my words will never pass away, my words will never die. And then you have people like the Watchtower and Tract Society and Joseph Smith who take things out and add things in. I don't understand how they reckon with that, and I haven't this far gotten any answers to that question. And that is why so many Jehovah Witnesses are so confused and think that Jesus is not God, because their Bible translation teaches that Jesus is not God, because they've added words and they've taken stuff out. By saying that Jesus created all other things instead of all things, that is a huge change, and it's confusing so many people. But again, they've done this to make people believe that Jesus is not God, because it does not fit what they believe, or what they want people to believe. Now let's look at why Jehovah Witnesses believe that Jesus Christ was created. Because of the word firstborn, they believe that this means he's like every other human being and he was the first one born. However, that is not the case, not biblically. Since Jehovah Witnesses usually follow the classical Greek and not the Koine Greek, which the Bible was written in, they misunderstand this as well. So the word firstborn in Greek is prototakos. This does not mean the first one born. In context, when speaking about Jesus Christ, this means preeminent, first in rank, in heir, to have preeminence in position, not in origin. So this is not saying that Jesus was the first one born, nor was he the first one created. There are many other people that were called firstborn. Israel was called firstborn. David was called firstborn. In fact, the David's called firstborn in Psalm 89:27. However, David was not the first son born. In fact, he was actually the youngest of 8, nor was he the first king. So in context here, the word firstborn means preeminence, not first one created. I'm going to show you a few examples of what firstborn means in their context.